Thank you so much for staying with us, everyone, and welcome back to the program. With the recent reports of the Nigerian Customs Service finding 4 illegal shipments of firearms, this bill is pertinent and its eventual passage is expected to strengthen the existing Firearms Act and making the nation safer. We're now being joined by the man who moved the motion for the amendment of the Firearms Act on the floor of the Senate today, Senator Gbolahan Dada, an APC senator from Ogun State. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Many thanks, Senator, for joining us on the program. It's heartbreaking to hear that this kind of situation is happening in our country, where this kind of arms and ammunition are coming into the country. If we look at what is obtainable in other parts of the world, the issue of arms and carrying of arms is a big deal in the United States. The different laws in the United Kingdom. Just exactly, if you tell us straight away, what exactly are the amendments you are proposing to the Firearms Act?
The F-20 Firearms Act of 2004 has no provision for destructions, So what we need to do now is that we have to find a way to destroy those equipments. It's not just seizing them or collecting them from illegal importers. Must be a way to destroy them completely. And this must be witnessed by people to make sure they are destroyed. You don't just keep on them in the armory. Nobody can give you statistics as to how many firearm pump action K-47 are in circulation in this country. Many of them are being seized in the airport or ports, but today you can't have a figure on them. So the best way to do them is to make sure it's not destroyed. Also, some of them that are useful to our military or paramilitary operations can be given to them. But my take on that is that we are going to have a proliferation of so many models or types of ammunition among our armed forces. That's one issue that we need to discuss. The Senate the nation is concerned about the speed, and recently, this past 9 months, the speed at which importation of seized arms is too much. Are we at war? And the question you want to ask yourself is that, where are these arms? Who keep them? Who are the custodians of these arms? So what happened to them later on? We don't hear nothing. So I feel it's very important that this very act is to be looked at seriously, and the provision must be there. Destruction must be a key issue, like how to destroy them. America destroy arms, right? And they have people that witness that make sure they destroy arms. We see many other agents in Nigeria now that they destroy illicit goods and contraband. There must be a process. That we have to do this also for the firearms.
A lot of people, especially those within the security sector, will think that it's a counterproductive effort when you're fighting or you're trying to secure a nation, and on the other hand, the manner in which arms and weapons of war or weapons of violence come into the country is increasing. And if you look at the statistics, about 77,000 small arms are in the hands of major West African insurgent groups, with Nigeria a major destination. First and foremost, what part of this law is going to discourage those who import these weapons from making Nigeria a destination for small and light weapons?
Yeah, I think the first step to take, as I've said, is that already there's existing law for this, but we have to enhance this law, right? And the public hearing will bring more light into this, because we are going to call in every interested groups who want to see the way forward to come with a superior argument and also counter argument. So this is the way I feel the first foundation to lay for a nation to make sure that's a control. We can't leave this issue alone to the first agency. The legislature have a very key role to make sure there is a high penalty. Not just when you look at the penalty, it's not a deterrent. The previous one is 1,000 naira. If people being for they can afford to pay 1,000 naira, but it's now we raise to 10,000 naira. That is not enough, right? I think it must escalate and make sure there's a complete deterrent that we discourage people who deal I refer to them the merchant of death, dealing with this drugs. Although one be careful, some people have legal right to import guns. They have licenses. Those are known people but these guns must also have serial numbers, and the bullet must be also traced to them. If you sell me a gun, and at the end of the day, this was used in a robbery case or a murder case, you should need to trace that serial number to the importer. the one that was licensed, and he can now tell the nation or the police exactly who is sold the gun to, or who is that can try to track a proper documentation of these things. It must be streamlined, and then it must be formalized, and then have records.
If you are looking at amending the law, the act that guides the carrying of firearms, what about the institution and the agency of government that works in making sure that these kind of things don't come into the country? What are you doing, for example, to empower customs service? The security expert sitting beside you has told us how disempowered the customs service is right now to fighting proliferation of arms in Nigeria.
I think the basic work is the law. To enhance and help the custom officers and police to curb importation of firearms is the law. The law is the foundation for that. If you have enact good laws and make sure that these laws are so watertight that people can't just come and bring in ammunition and then go to court and use the judiciary system to circumvent the government. No. Let's look at the system of law. We are just starting, and I feel these are the first steps, because the 2004 Act failed to address many issues. This one we are trying to do now is to further upgrade this and then add more value to it. But by the time we start our public hearing, I'm very sure that people with knowledge will come forward and advise. The security agents are doing a lot of job, but our borders are so porous. What we are witnessing is that one are coming through a formalized entrance, like the port, the airport. What are the ones that come through borderlines? You can't trace them on the boundaries.
All right.
These are the issues we have.
Okay.
And that's why the country is we are at a very desperate period of our country now.
Okay.
Where we have a lot of warlords everywhere fighting. The guns come from somewhere. So that's the way you go. It should be. The law is, we are very deterministic in our views to make sure we pass the appropriate law to court.
All right. Senator, just as we round up the conversation now, let me allow Mr. Onyekwelu to give his final thought on this. Based on what the senator has said, from your experience and your experience outside of this country and what you see in Nigeria, in 30 seconds, if you will anchor on the way forward and what input you think the lawmakers need to put in the act they are amending urgently.
First of all, the lawmaker should remember to have a level of anybody who is arrested or caught with unlicensed firearm. It's very important. If it's 3 years, it's 5 years, put it down. Number two, we need to understand that Turkey is a major exporter of firearms. Major exporters are not even mentioned. Turkey is not even number 7. So when it comes from Turkey, it makes me to wonder, I don't want to mention their names. Those major 5 countries, do they have ways of bringing their firearms in?
Seems to be having some difficulties with satellite connections there.